literally welcome you to iHeartRadio Seattle. How you doing?
I am excited to be here. I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. I remember the first time we met, it was in Spokane, and Riker ran up on me and was like, you got to know about my artist.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
how she does it.
And so you ended up performing and you killed it. And
Yeah.
since then, you've done nothing but grow. You've grown your audience. You've grown your music. And I think you've also just kind of grown as a person.
Yeah.
Let's kind of talk about some of the things that really got Oble into music as a kid.
Yeah, it's crazy because growing up, I didn't like listen to hip hop music like at all. My mom had me listening to like contemporary Christian music and smooth jazz. That was it. And my first experience with hip hop was my dad brought home a CD from an artist named Lacre.
I love Lacre.
Come on now. And then from that moment, I was like, oh, yep, this is it. I was like, I don't need anything else. I'm just going to listen to this. And I started writing. I actually found recently my first thing that I ever wrote. You know those like big line pieces of paper that you practice handwriting on? Yeah. So it was terrible because I was like 10.
So, okay, do you think that because of the music that you started listening to back then, is that one of the reasons why you don't cuss in your music now? Or is that just kind of like your natural vibe?
Yeah, I think growing up listening to that, none of my role models and the people I was looking up to in music were doing it. And I was also like in a really religious household. And so naturally, like as I perfected my craft, like it wasn't a part of that. And so now, even though like, I don't know, that's not all I listen to, and I have all of these other influences, like my natural instincts is just not to. So yeah, I mean, I think in the age of the internet, right, it's easier to find new artists, and also music is way more accessible now. And so people are finding their own path in music and then putting it out to the world, and so it's easier for us to find. But I think there's just always been roots in storytelling here in Seattle. And I admit I wasn't always in the music scene or like wasn't super involved in like my come up, but as I've been able to like experience more, go to more events, meet new people, like I can see the intentionality behind everybody's art. And now I see more of the intentionality on the business side and the branding side of everything. And now like Seattle and the PNW has eyes on it now. And you know, I think there's more and more artists every day that are ready for those eyes and ready to seize those opportunities. And 2024 is about to be a year of abundance for this region. So,
what do you think has gotten you the most ready for these moments? Because your career is actually taking off pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of patience and also a lot of education on my own part. I had all of the music done for my debut project that I dropped last year, like 2 years ago.
Wow.
Like it was all done. And I used to work as an audio engineer at a studio, and like that was my goal. COVID happened, all the studios closed, and I said, okay, well, I want to keep making music. So I built a studio in a tree house that I made with my dad when I was 10, converted it. Yeah, gutted it all out, you know, put insulation, electricity, Wi-Fi, taught myself how to audio engineer. And my goal for that year was to work in a studio, and then made that happen, made connections. My goal was to build my team, met Riker, you know, started working with Nash more, met the producers, all of that. And then my goal for the year after that was just to get ready for the debut.
What is the biggest lesson that you learned from your recent tour?
Oh, from my recent tour. The biggest lesson is that when you give 100% on that stage, people respond to that whether they know you or not. And it was crazy to see people who didn't know who I was or why I was even there come up to me afterwards and be like, that was, you know, and felt impacted by what I was doing. And, you know, we have a mantra in our team, Tour 2000. And I think tour as an opener definitely, you know, puts that to the test. Yeah, exactly.
Nobody's going to a concert for elevator music, let's be honest.
Or for one song.
And then last for my 6 randoms, if you could talk to Oble in 10 years on this very day, 10 years from now, what do you think you would be saying to yourself?
Dang, talking to my future self? Wow. I would probably ask, I don't know. I'd probably ask myself how I was feeling, like all realness. Like, yeah, I feel how I feel right now, and like I'm always ready to go, and like, but like in 10 years, like, did I really take care of myself? Like, did you actually do the things that you said you were going to do? Did you hold to your word? And, are you still, have the same goals and same, are you living authentically as you were then?